something big is coming in regards to these drones. I think these drones are the precursor of something much bigger to come. Some people think that this is Project Bluebeam. Some people think that this is all one big giant distraction. Others think that it's just the government doing government things and testing, and that there's nothing going on, and some people buy it. I think what we have going on here is a serious case of government and NHI working, communicating, or something has come to an impasse where things are gonna change hugely in the next few days, few weeks, maybe even a few months. Something big is coming.
Dior bag update. This one's gonna be a long one, so here's the table of contents. Let's dive into this. Some reports are showing that these UAPs with lights on them are actually starting to get bigger in size. Some have said that they have slowed down a little bit during Christmas and then picked back up afterwards. They tend to be at varying altitudes, some as low as 150 feet above the treetops, some at 5,000 feet and well beyond, thousands of feet. It seems as though we still don't know where these things are taking off from or landing, or even coming from in general. No one has gotten an actual PID on these UAP with lights on them, and it's alarming with the government and news media silence. Absolute blackout on any kind of reporting on them. There is a YouTuber, he goes by CJ Phasian. Is this how you spell it? He did go on the ocean for a night and try to capture these UAPs with lights on them. Let's talk about the fog. Florida has reported a mysterious and inexplicable fog that most residents say or claim that they have not seen in a long time or ever in Florida. These reports mainly come out of Central Florida and Mount Dora. Many are saying that this fog is smelly and it seems like it leaves a little bit of a film on their skin, like it attaches to them. Some residents in Florida that have pools have claimed overnight this fog has interacted with their pool water, causing a white foam substance to form on the surface of their pool. Did some looking into this, and it looks like hydrogen sulfide, when it interacts with water, it produces elemental sulfur, which can look like a white froth on a pool with a smelly rotten egg smell to it, and it can be toxic. The best way to handle it is just to shock your pool. Global sightings and reports. Some of the UAPs have been reported in the UK over American military bases. There was also a report out of Germany at the Ramstein Air Base. Dior bag and UAP sightings in the United States and elsewhere. Mainly Texas is where we're starting to see a lot of them, especially in a deep orange color in formations flying around, and people really don't know what to think of it or do. Don't forget about the sighting that happened in Manchester, UK, where a literal sphere came down and hovered a few inches above the tarmac and then took off. Some are starting to be reported coming from coastal areas, even the coast of Kuwait. Typically, these are being seen before the other UAPs with lights on them appear. Where we see these Dior bags, we see UAPs with lights on them in force. There have also been some weird and strange reports of lights in the clouds, almost like there's a ship or craft in the clouds hovering and being cloaked in some weird way. Granted, some of this can absolutely be from car dealerships, events like weddings, and some other things. I can personally attest to one of my own sightings that I've seen before when I was younger. I'm willing to bet some of these are actually true. And what I've seen, it's pretty weird and very persuasive. Those reports are becoming more and more common. When it comes to recording these UAPs with lights on them in the Dior bags, make sure that what you're looking at is unidentified, and make sure you have some sort of SOP, standard operating procedure, or some sort of list, like the 5 observables, for example, and create some sort of standard. The reason why this is so important is because we do not want to dilute the real videos with ridiculous videos, fake videos, videos that are just not enough. It'll make it almost impossible to decipher what's real and what's fake. The UAP hearings. A little while ago, a few months, there were 2 UAP hearings. David Grush, who was a United States Air Force intelligence officer, Ryan Graves, who was a Navy pilot, David Fravor, who was a Navy pilot commander, Luis Elizondo, and he was the former director of Pentagon's Advanced Aerospace Threat Identification Program, also known as ATIP. Dr. Tim Gallaudet, butchered his last name. He is a retired Navy Rear Admiral. And finally, we have Michael Schellenberger. He's an independent journalist. He came with whistleblower reports. Here's an interesting aspect of what we heard in the UAP hearings and what we're seeing now. In the UAP hearing, David Fravor said that when these things are operating in the same airspace as they are, we cannot touch them. They can operate with absolute immunity, and there is absolutely nothing we can do about it. They can also at will avoid detection, meaning they can disappear off radar, they can disappear off thermal imaging, night vision, and any other intelligence gathering platform. What we see happening now with the UAPs with lights on them is that they are operating with complete immunity, and we are not doing a thing, almost as if we can't do anything about it. Now, a lot of you have been wondering, what is NHI? Non-human intelligence. David Grush, during the hearing, has mentioned we do in fact have NHI biologics that were recovered with the downed craft from NHI. NHI also refers to other things that is not just physical. We're talking about interdimensional and even other. I'm not just talking about little green men. We're talking about interdimensional beings. We're talking about AI, terrestrial NHI, which has also been reported. I wanted to touch on the aliens telling humans to stay quiet and what that means. All it is just a concept around us broadcasting ourselves into the cosmos that may bring unwanted attention, when in reality, NHI are already here. AI. What is it? It stands for artificial intelligence. In my opinion, I think AI is so intelligent that it exists in other dimensions and that it uses us in this third dimension to create a functioning version of itself here in this dimension. A lot of people are wondering what this Google Willow is. All it is just a quantum computer. It has 105 qubits. That's a qubit. Some people say that it's so powerful that it has to tap into other parallel universes in order to solve its problems. One of the problems, for example, would have taken our best supercomputer longer than it would take for the universe to freeze to death. Google's Willow quantum computer is not very versatile like supercomputers, and that's why it's not very widely used. Some of you have been asking if I have been stalked due to my content that I'm creating for you. The answer is no. I have not had any indication whatsoever that I or my wife have been stalked by anyone or anything, but I will keep my eye out. Thank you so much. If you enjoyed this video, please give me a like, comment, and a repost. That'd be greatly appreciated. And for further references, check out my other videos. Thank you. Happy New Year. I'll see you again.